Our keynote speaker today is the commander of the 344th Recruiting Squadron, headquartered in Arlington, Texas. He leads a squadron of 8 flights across Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas, and Oklahoma, covering 106,000 square miles. He partners with military, civic, community, and educational organizations to inspire, engage, and recruit future airmen and guardians to deliver air power for America. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to present our keynote speaker, Lt Col Lemaire.
Thank you, Master Sergeant Rush. Well, good afternoon, everyone. First, I want to also thank Command Chief Vance Clark for the kind invitation to speak to all of you here today. And I also want to recognize the distinguished guests that were mentioned earlier, the teachers, the parents, mentors, and both active duty and retired military members in the room. Thank you for the guidance and support given to everybody here, the award winners, to get to this moment. Congratulations to all those who earned awards today. You all worked hard, you've shown promise, and today you're recognized not just for your potential, but your commitment to something more. Now let me ask you a question. What do you want to be remembered for? Not what job title you want or how much money you hope to make, but what kind of legacy you want to leave, what kind of impact you'll have. Because the truth is, we all have a purpose. It is never just about ourselves. It's about what we give, who we serve, and how we show up for others. Let me take you back a few years. I joined the Air Force not just to wear the uniform or travel, but I've done plenty of that in my 17-year career. I joined because I believed in something bigger than myself. I believed in service. I believe that if I could help just one person, one community, then it'll all be worth it in the end. Over the years, I've seen service take many forms. I've seen it on active duty. My last assignment with United States Southern Command, which area of responsibilities, the Caribbean, Central America, and South America. I've seen personally young airmen step into disaster zones after hurricanes that ravaged that area, helping strangers who they don't know to rebuild their lives. I watched community members and volunteers serve meals and offer mentorship with no expectation of anything in return. And I met students, and I met other folks too, just like you in this room, who tutor, coach, and lead simply because they all care. Service doesn't always wear a uniform, but it wears a purpose. You don't have to join the military to serve, although being a recruiter, I'd love you all to join the military. But let me tell you what happens when you do. You'll discover strength you never knew you had. You'll gain discipline, resilience, and a kind of leadership that shapes you into who you are, not just what you do. And you become part of something bigger than yourself, something that matters. And if the military is not your path, that's okay. You can serve by standing up for what is right, by using that education, your voice, and your talents to lift up your school, your neighborhood, and your country. You can make your community better. You can change one life. And that is how we change the world. As stated earlier, I currently lead the Air and Space Force recruiting across Texas and also the neighboring states. It's a large area of responsibility going all the way up to Oklahoma and down to Houston and East Texas and West Texas. But I've been in command for 9 months, commanding the recruiting squadron since June of last year. I watched personally lives transformed in this job. I saw a man who was homeless. He lived behind a strip mall in one of my recruiting offices. He's now an airman right now, maintaining aircraft that protects lives and secures missions. I had a student who once weighed over 350 pounds, joined our special warfare program, and now he's part of explosive ordnance disposal, currently weighing about 180 pounds, defusing bombs and protecting others. I've seen young people from wealthy families enlist, not because they had to, but because they're looking for a purpose, a challenge, a calling. Part of my day-to-day job is to approve waivers for people who are not otherwise fit to serve. They might have done something as simple as bring a steak knife into a school when they were younger, and it's on the record, I need to waive that. But it's also plenty of times more serious, which is drug possession charges or some other crimes that they normally wouldn't be eligible for. But when I interview them, we need to give them a second chance, an opportunity to serve and to serve others. And they want to be part of something bigger and greater than themselves. Every great movement in history started with somebody who chose to serve. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. once said, "Everybody can be great because everybody can serve." He didn't say you have to be rich, perfect, or powerful. He said just serve. So I'll leave everybody here with this one question. What would you choose? Would you choose comfort, or would you choose purpose? Would you scroll past the problems, just like what a lot of people do on social media platforms? Or would you raise your hand and say, I can help with that, I can fix that? To every student that's in this room, this is your moment. You earned some good awards, and you might earn a scholarship here. You're in our admiration. Now it's time to ask yourself, what would you do with that opportunity? Find your mission, as we say, like we say in the military. Step up, find a way to serve. Whether that's in the Air Force, Space Force, in college, your community, or your families. Make the choice to lead with purpose. Because when you serve others, you'll discover the best version of yourself. And that's a life worth living and remembering. Thank you. Congratulations again to all of you.